According to the Utah Public Health Data Resource, the state of Utah has the fifth highest suicide rate in the United States, the fifth highest. Many of us have been, or we know somebody who's been affected by these statistics, and each of us may be instrumental in helping or preventing somebody we know from committing suicide in the future. Admiral William McRaven, the former commander of the Joint Special Operations Command, delivered the commencement speech to the students of the graduating class of 2014 at the University of Texas at Austin. In that speech, Admiral McRaven provides 10 ideas or 10 points that, if applied, can help change the world. Due to time constraints, I'd like to highlight 3 of these. The first of them is to make your bed. Second is to sing even when you're up to your neck in the mud. And last, never ever ring the bell. Make your bed. It's a simple task, mundane at best. Every morning, Navy SEAL candidates are required to make their beds to perfection. While it may seem ridiculous, if you make your bed every morning, you will have accomplished the first task of the day. It will give you a small sense of pride and encourage you to do another task, and another, and then another. Making your bed reinforces the fact that little things in life do matter. And if by chance you had a bad day, at least you'll come home to a bed that is made, a bed that you made. Second point that I'd like to highlight is to sing even when you're up to your neck in the mud. The 9th week of Navy SEAL training is known as Hell Week. It's 6 days of non-stops, of no sleep, and constant physical and mental harassment, to include a day at the notorious mud flats near San Diego between Tijuana. This particular day of Hell Week consists of 15 hours spent trying to survive freezing mud, wind, and nonstop pressure from the instructors trying to convince you to give up and to just quit. The instructors tell the SEAL candidates that they can leave the mud if just 5 people in the class will quit. Realizing this would continue for another 8 hours or until the sun came up at dawn, one voice began to sing. One voice became 2, 2 became 3, and then everyone in the class was singing. Somehow, the mud seemed a little warmer and the dawn not so far away. They knew that if one man could rise above the misery, then others could as well. And that's the power of hope, the power of just one person. One person can change the world by giving people hope. The third point that I'd like to highlight is don't ever, ever ring the bell. In Navy SEAL training, there is a bell that hangs in the center of the Navy SEAL compound for all the students to see at all times. In order to quit, all that you have to do is ring the bell. If you ring the bell, you're no longer required to wake up at 5 a.m. You're no longer required to do the freezing cold swims, the runs in the sand, the obstacle course, or any of the PT, or any of the other hardships you may have to endure during Navy SEAL training. So don't ever, ever ring the bell. While I agree with Admiral McRaven, we have the ability to change the world. According to the most recent national level data available, which is 2016, the suicide rate for the United States was 13.4 per 100,000 population, while Utah's suicide rate was 21.6 per 100,000 population. These stats are alarming, and it's up to us to change the world. Now, Admiral McRaven spoke to 8,000 students who graduated from the University of Texas in 2014. He suggested to those students that if each of them would change the lives of 10 people, then those folks would change the lives of another 10 people, then in 5 generations or 125 years, the class of 2014 will have changed the lives of 800 million people, more than twice the population of the United States. In conclusion, as the suicide rate in Utah is above the national average, and recent events right here near UVU's campus are still fresh in our minds, let's do our best to recognize ways to help others and change the world. These principles, applied to today's societal problem with suicide, could reduce the number of suicides. Admiral McRaven points out those 3 things: that if you make your bed, that if you sing even when you're up to your neck in the mud, and that if you never ever ring the bell. Apply those things to your life. Make your bed. It emphasizes the importance of the small things in your life. Sing, even when you're up to your neck in the mud. Find reasons to be happy. Find reasons to sing. And above all, never, ever ring the bell. Don't ever give up.